So this is why I really, really encourage women like you who show up, who feel called. This is like you're putting a mark. You're courageous. You're leading the way. You transformation a whole culture. Can you imagine how big it is? It's like I get chills. This is so courageous. Was the same with this last woman from Egypt. She did such a massive work, and we were like, wow, imagine the impact it has on the field. Somebody has to break the pattern. Yeah. Somebody has to do that and take that on. So I just encourage. Is one of the most important works that we can do.
All right, so it's 10 past already.
Yeah, let's start.
Yeah, let's start. There are probably more people coming. So hi and welcome everybody. My name is Matt. You see that here. I have to my right Sana and to my left Deanne. They are both the founder of the Dearmouring Art School. I'm guest teaching. I'm the consent geek of the trio. And I would like to give it to ladies first. Sana, a few words about who are you?
Who am I? Hello, everyone. Some of you I've met and some of you I have not yet met. My name is Susanna, but Matt knows me very well as my previous name, Sanna. So Susanna. And yes, I'm the founder of Dearmouring Arts or co-founder together with Dean. I would say in short that I am a geek in human potential, in personal development, spirituality, everything that makes me become more alive and happy and integrated and live a masterful and skillful life. And I've been on the path for about 25 years now, or 27 actually. I started young, and I'm really passionate about contributing to positive global impact. Yeah, so I'm really, really dedicated to working and contributing. This is what I've dedicated my life to. I'm very grateful to be here, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Sana. Give it over to you, Deanne.
Deanne.
Who are you?
I'm Dean. I've also been on this path actually very, very long time, decades, feels like forever. I've been on a path mostly for my personal reasons, and for the last, I don't know how many, maybe 16 years, I actually taught people various arts. And then what I found is that as the teaching was happening, as I was developing, my work was developing as well. So the Dearmouring Arts was like the latest, 9 years ago was the latest baby that Sana and I came up with. And I don't really know what else to say, but I'm really happy to be here. I'm really happy to see so many people, and super happy to share the topic that we're going to talk about. So yeah, over to you, Matt.
Yeah, what will be sexual empowerment? Yeah, so hi everybody, my name is Matt. I'm German born. I've been nomadic for 15 years. And my path of kind of sexual self-development began when I was 27. That's 27 years ago. I'm 55. This is my guest gig where I'm as a guest teacher in the Dearmouring Art School. So I've been teaching 6 trainings with Deanne and Sana together. I've done before a similar training, shorter term, I don't know, probably 16, 17 times or so. I'm the consent geek in that trio, so I create the container and the communication pieces.
I take care of it.
Thank you.
Yeah, done.
That when people start touching each other, that they have literally the consent frame in place. I just teach empowerment and what receiving is, so that people literally have a better understanding on their neurological level when they engage before we come to sexual touch at the training. And I'm very passionate about that. So that's me. So as I said, that this is the 6th training that I'm teaching with Sana and Deanne. But how many Dearmouring trainings have you two done before? How many trainings have you been?
18.
No, actually, I counted it the other day.
Yeah.
This is gonna be the 17th in October.
Oh,
16th,
okay. We've
21st, and
lost
17th.
one or two. Yeah.
17.
Okay.
Wow. It's like almost having a 17-year-old child, you know. It's
Totally.
child
It's
is almost
leaving the
ready to leave
nest
home, you
soon.
know.
Yeah.
All right. So let's dive in just like a few words and about what is de-armoring literally for us. And you can't find any more controversial answers than the three of us, and that's the kind of big part in the training, because we're not coming from a book, we're coming from lived experiences and embodied trainings that we have done. And when people ask us certain questions in the training, we most of the time have different answers, and that the variety makes it so diverse. So Sana, what's de-armoring for you, and what is the benefit of de-armoring in your life, specifically on a sexual level, because that's the theme for today?
Yeah, exactly. So in short, what de-armoring is for me, it's really a lifestyle. It has developed to a lifestyle for me. So de-armoring is basically to free myself as much as possible, to look at all my belittling as much as I can, as many as I see, belittling thought patterns. Where do I hold back? Where I'm afraid, where can I grow? So that is more like on a mental behavior level. So that is de-armoring for me, like can I repattern myself constantly? Yeah, like I'm an alive being. And for me, it's much about life mastery. So how much can I master my life and be aware, conscious, choose my actions, thoughts, reactions? How free can I be, basically? So I could go much deeper into it, but I'm also aware that we have a topic to cover. But what really changed, what was really, really life-changing for me was I did a lot of work before I found Dearmouring. So I did plenty of things for many years. And when I came across Dearmouring and started to work with my sexual wounding, I had done like psychotherapy before. I have sexual abuse in the background, a lot of abuse in my background. I've worked through that, so it's all fine. I'm just sharing for my story. So when I came across Dearmouring and got these first sessions, sexual healing sessions, it was mind-blowing, and it really changed my life. And it changed my life because the man who was giving me a session, he was bringing my body into pleasure and without taking advantage out of me. And for me, who come from a then abusive background, I never had a man caring for me in that way. I could never feel myself in that way. And it just opened a whole new world for me. And I got so passionate about it. So I started to discover other fields. And then I come across another session giver. And then he discovered my cervix, and I literally had a religious experience. And this is kind of where my mission to pass this method on was born, because it was so profound. And I realized really that if we don't work directly with our sexuality from the root, from the core, we cannot really transform that part, yeah? Because it's so distorted. And so after that session, during the session, I felt pain, like generational pain, just moving through my body from, generations of women, the abuse. And I remember tears just streaming from my face, and I sat in prayer and just felt this profound impact. And that's when I made this choice to learn this and study this, and then pass it on to as many people as I could. So for me, doesn't matter how much work I do, I will always come back to Dearmouring. And I will, the way we can explore our sexual potential, our orgasmic potential is heavenly. So Dearmouring, the first step of Dearmouring, of actual physical Dearmouring, is to release those blockages, so we can increase life force energies. We can start to feel ourselves more. We can become more alive. And then from that, we can start to work with our orgasmic potential. And this is where it's just so delicious.
Mm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I get all passionate here. My part is like, I could go deeper.
Thank you
So
so
I
much.
love it. Yeah, thank you.
And, you know, to everybody, there can't be more diversity in the trio of us. And Deanne, what's your sexual empowerment path of Dearmouring and related to the theme?
Yeah, so basically, like my definition of the armoring keeps changing as years go by, and the latest one, as well as Sana, also the armoring became a lifestyle some time ago. And the definition of it really is anything that stands between me right now, Dean Matuka, and my full mastery is armor. So the armoring for me, it really is path of mastery, and it's a very long path. I'm dedicated to it fully. And out of that dedication, when I connected to sexual empowerment, or then I also had different waves and different rides through my journey. So my initial connection to sexual empowerment through the armoring was genital de-armoring, quite a lot of it. I received many, I gave many, that was kind of part of my life, and it opened me up to many, many new things. So that was amazing. And then, about 8 years ago, I also found out that I am leaking sexual energy all over the place, and emotional energy and relational energy. My second center was not really able to verticalize the energy up and down, but was kind of spewing it left and right and center and creating this romantic and relational and sexual connections with many, many people that were not healthy for me. So I then took on a path of the armoring through celibacy. So now I've been almost 8 years fully celibate. And this is like hardcore de-armoring. So you see, when we talk about de-armoring as a lifestyle, de-armoring is not a technique. It's not like you go and press A, B, C, and then you de-armor. Ta-da! No, no. De-armoring can take many different forms. And in this particular form that I'm taking on myself is through celibacy, because that's the form that needed to be taken to deal with that particular issue within my system that I wanted to de-armor. So we can go much, much deeper into it if you wish, but I think that's the definition and my connection to the sexual empowerment with it for now.
Okay, thank you so much. About myself. So I think that the highest dynamic of de-armoring is literally using life force energy, is using sexual energy for and pleasure for individual transformation. And I think that our all capacity of our sexual potential has the potential to bring us into this field of unified consciousness. I've personally experienced that many, many times, and I personally think that a fully liberated sexual being is an empowered being. And I haven't found any deeper layers of de-armoring than sexual pleasure in myself. So where do I carry my own blockages that doesn't allow me to feel more? So all my kind of shame, guilt, and fear trips that I have conditioned and be put in my body. And there's nothing more than de-armoring than a good relationship on all levels. So, and relationships not only to my beloved one and my partner, as well relationship to all people in life. So I like this kind of thinking. If you are thinking you are enlightened, spend 2 or 3 weeks with your parents together, and because this is where all your conditionings are from on sensual, sexual, and all levels. I've written a book that calls Orgasmic Blueprint, and my path of sexual liberation has been going into something that I call edging. Yeah, also that means kind of being capable of taking the goal of climax out of the equation and using sensuality and sexuality for myself and with other people to reach the highest state of awareness. And then I just have learned a lot about the nervous system and the nervous system function and how we communicate and how that psychologically and emotionally is wired. And this is what I literally bring into the de-armoring field. I have been a practitioner for many, many years. I had my two fingers in many, many people of all gender identification. And I love that work dearly. And the level of integrity and impeccability in relationship to clients has been part of my passion, what is as well part of my book. So, and I'm here today sharing that with you as much as I can in this short period of time. Anything you, Deanne or Sana, want to add? Or
yeah, I was thinking there actually one thought that arose when you were speaking, and there is this the level of dearmoring that can be required when we want to explore our orgasmic potential. I mean, there are so many layers of repression and in people that some people they don't know the capacity, they don't know the potential, they don't feel they deserve it, they are scared of it. You know, when this energy starts to run, and that is, you know, often we think that dearmoring or the path of transformation just has to be painful, or we have to scream and bang pillows or be angry and you know, but maybe dearmoring is also to be fully alive. Like maybe dearmoring is to live true to our gifts. Maybe dearmoring is to shine bright in the world, you know. But often what I see in this personal development field, and I was stuck for many years until I woke up from that, this like constant hunger to dig into the shit, which will always come, you know, we live. But what I love with the sexual empowerment is that first we need to go into the dirt and the dark, of course, but then to really allow to become sexually potent and full and alive and juicy. And that is, I think, can be scary for many. And not even knowing the potential. So like, what do you even mean? Like, what do we even mean when we say that? I know some of you will be able to relate to that, and maybe some of you not. Like, what does that mean even to, you know, explore our orgasmic potential, you know, because it's much bigger than a clitoris orgasm or a peak orgasm. It's like becoming orgasmic. Yeah. So I want to talk into that. Yeah.
Anything you want to add, Dan?
I just want to broaden it a little bit, because let's kind of look at this sexual empowerment. What really is it? Like, on what levels can we talk about it? So let's then, on a physical level, sexual empowerment, as well as both of you already said, would be almost like getting arousable, like getting more sensitive within your physical body. Like for me, for example, when I had my first cock dearmoring, it was revolutionary difference between before and after to the actual sensitivity of the organ, sensitivity of the skin, sensitivity of the nervous system, receptivity of it, like multifold increased. So then we can say that like sexual empowerment on a physical level is also awakening the tools, if you like, awakening the body itself. And we can look at it maybe on a emotional level. Sexual empowerment would be dealing with all the like sexually related trauma potentially, or experiences that we had from our teenage years, all the kind of belittling, all the basically all the emotional baggage that we carry to do with sexual life, which is again like the bag is big, you know. We carry a lot. And then we can look at it mentally, like Sana already was kind of talking about the limiting belief systems and do's and don'ts, and like you dirty girl, and like, you know, what we were taught to think about on a mental level about the whole topic of sexuality. So that's another massive thing that can be hugely empowered through dearmoring. So then we have those three, and then interwoven into that, there's gonna be, like for me, potentially, like the celibacy also for me is hugely sexually empowering, because it's actually creating a man out of a boy. Now that's a big thing. When we talk also about, it's more than just sexual empowerment, it's also sexual empowerment. So when you start looking at dearmoring on like a multidimensionality, sexual empowerment can actually happen on many different levels, and it's needed on all those levels to create a one big whole.
I just want to say, like, short before you also say, Matt, so for me as a woman who has a lot of abuse in my background, or had a lot of abuse in my background, to learn just to ask for what I want or how I wanted to be touched, and explore. I mean, I have many stories and I tell them in the training, but how I then went from being like super shy and afraid of being rejected to just like explore this sexual hunger with men that I've chosen, you know, like to become sexually empowered and go for what I wanted instead of, you know, being chosen and maybe being in transaction or pleasing in bed. Yeah, so we just look at that level. That is something that I think the whole fucking globe would benefit of, because we mature, you know, we mature in that relating, in that meeting, and that will also spread in everything else that we do.
So we hear a little bit more about, or you will hear a little bit more about the three of us, and then we will opening on one point for more questions and answers, and then we probably hear for one of the people who have been in the training, if they want to share a little bit. Yes, please. Zip. Let me finish that line of thought, please. And what I would like to say about this armoring dynamic, specifically in the training, you know, in the training that we do sexual de-armorings. That means people stick their finger in other people's bodies, and that can be very scary. And when there is sexual de-armoring happening from a place of unconsciousness, it can cause more armor than actually liberation, than freedom. And this is very, very important because we all carry a story in ourselves. So that when we have the right agreement field, that people can literally choose from an empowered place what is happening to them, not expressing only boundaries, what is not happening, but saying what is happening, what they want, it can become an orchestra of enlightenment in this in the training. What I have experienced when people are consciously engaging, creating an agreement field about how they want to be touched, when this is embodied from the individual, that they can then take that in their life and translate that into their own sexual experience, that they can be then touched from everybody else, including their relationship partner or anybody else, the way how they want to be touched in their sexual area. It's just phenomenal. This in itself just like kind of lightens me up and makes my heart beat. So this is fantastic. Before I give that to the people who have been in the training, because I'm really curious what your experience was.
Yeah, I just want to add one thing, and so I
ask
also want
Dan first, because he was zipping his mouse, and then
okay.
Sorry, I got that.
The thing is that I just wanted to actually read the Frida's question and answer it. So do we go for it now, or whether we go for it?
We wait a little bit. I just want to.
We wait a little bit. So when people can. One second, Sana. I just want to say that when people share who have been in the training, then we invite you to write your questions in the chat, and then we either go from the question or you can unmute yourself and ask. So whatever you like.
Great.
Please, Sana. Sorry.
And for the people that will share, just make it not too long.
Yeah, I say that.
Yeah, so with the sexual healing, and we talked a lot about moving in with fingers, yes, but also just the power of being touched actually without arousal needing to happen. So many of us are used to, when our genitals are being touched, that it's time to be aroused or sex is supposed to happen and so on. But the healing, it's such a profound healing itself to just be held in love and care. And it's what I see also with many men who has, you know, many men often go into performance. I don't know if you can relate to that, but when it comes to sexuality, when your genitals are being touched, but as a man to just be touched without having to perform anything, without needing to get hard, there's nothing expected out of you. That is mind-blowing. It's such a healing. Yeah, and I've seen it so many times. So this is also why it's why I think it's important to separate. You know, we have the healing part of it, and then we have the pleasure part. Yeah, so we get to experience both levels, because sometimes if we go into the pleasure part, we override what is actually true underneath. Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's the time now for a little exercise.
Okay. Yes.
And and then we'll just go into some sharing. And I would like to talk a few sentences about why I love this exercise so much. So when I went into sexual de-armoring work or into sexual empowerment, I learned in the very beginning the Mantak Chia technique in Tao yoga. And that was that to learn to control your sexual energy is to learn to squeeze your muscles on the sympathetic dynamic. So just like tightening up and squeezing your pelvic floor. And many women have learned through yoni egg practice or squeezing their vagina muscles through massaging the man's penis. So we all have learned to a certain degree to tense up and hold our genitals tight, that we feel more, or that we feel more when we release. And I've done that as well. And I've learned from the masters to let that go. And these are women who have given birth and women who have been working as midwives. And I have learned to translate that as well into the male's body in my own experience. So what I would like to invite you to in an exercise is tuning into your pelvic floor just for a moment, and just take a deep breath and inhale as if you inhale through your pelvic floor. So when you inhale, you literally expand your pelvic floor as if you're having a little bowl. And when you exhale, you just relax and let go. You inhale and expand. Exhale and let go. And just do that for a few more times. You inhale and expand as if you're pushing it out through your genitals, and you exhale and relax. And just notice what you notice in your body while you do that. And some of you might have a tingling, some of you might have a buzzing or a vibrating, or you sense more, or you have a little bit of a turn on, or you might feel numb. And whatever there is in your pelvic area is absolutely perfect. There's nothing that needs to be changed or wrong or repaired or fixed. And you have your eyes closed. I invite you slowly to opening up your eyes with the sensation as they are. Bring your attention back to the screen. And now I would like to invite you to a different exercise. And this is what de-armoring has in storage in this dynamic. So we all have learned from early age on that to hold our pee and our poo and our air back, that we just need to learn to clench and squeeze our pelvic floor muscles. And I would like to invite you not to squeeze your pelvic floor muscle, but squeeze your fist. So really make a hard fist as strong as you possibly can, and take all this energy in your fist just for a few seconds, 10 seconds or so. Really squeeze it hard. And without opening your fist, just take the energy out of your fist and leave your fist as it is.
Stop squeezing and just hold it. Relax.
Just, yeah, without squeezing, just hold your fist as it is. And this is how we all carry our pelvic muscles and our muscle tissue through our life. So we have learned to squeeze and control, and most of us don't know even that we're doing that. So it's a sympathetic, muscular behavior that is autonomic, so automatic, without knowing that we're doing it. And this is a defense mechanism or a control mechanism that keeps us away from being the radiant being on a sexual level that we can be. And what it needs, and what that is, what we literally do in the training, and this is what I've done with myself and with many, many people over the years when I've been working with them, that when you let somebody else in this contracted holding control mechanism, that it needs an extra level of connection, it needs an extra level of communication, and an extra level of opening to slowly and gentle. And you can do that with yourself without opening your finger, just slowly and gentle, kind of opening one finger after another. And this needs to happen consciously, slowly, and with a lot of awareness. Because if somebody else is touching you and you have a contracted, controlled, defensive mechanism, and somebody is not capable of really feeling you where you are, probably all this conditioning that you carry through your life will get re-triggered in a not so comfortable way. And then slowly relax your hands again. Just shake it all off so that you don't hold anything.
Nice.
Okay, so
I want to say something
Please.
to that as well.
Yes.
I mean, so when it comes to sexual pattern and when we have intercourse, for example, and also masturbate, you know, many are trained to clench. Yeah. So also women, you know, many women believe that they are supposed to be tight, and when they make love, they're supposed to tighten up the yoni. Yeah. But then you actually armor, you create armor, you become tense. So what you want to do is to relax while you have intercourse. You bring in relaxation and sensitivity instead. Yes, you're going to do the opposite. I invite you to do that next time. And also if you're a man hearing this and when you make love with your beloved, ask her to relax and slightly push out her yoni. So instead of doing this, like, it's an opening instead. Yeah, so we want it all the time, or for me at least, like work with relaxation and softening and smoothing and opening the body. Yeah.
A strong muscle is a relaxed muscle, not a tight muscle.
Yeah. Yes. Toned.
So I would like to invite everybody who has been in the training to use that opportunity to do a camera de-armoring, opening up your microphone and
Maybe any questions?
1 second, we go there
okay.
in a minute. So just speak a few words if you want to. What was your experience about sexual de-armoring, and how does it has impacted or enriched your life? If it has, please feel free to unmute yourself. We're not picking it. You unmute yourself. First person speaks first.
We can see you.
The armoring.
Yay.
Still going on. It never changes. It never ends. If your heart is beating fast, it's your turn. You can do
Is
it.
there actually one of you who want to do it? Raise the hand so we can see. Otherwise, we're going to leave it.
Nobody wants to speak.
No one to do it. Oh.
Shall we pick?
We can write something in the. We can write something in the chat.
Steffi
No, let them
had
be.
her hand up. Steffi, please feel free. Unmute yourself and be you.
Steph is trying, but there's something going on.
Ask to unmute and see if that helps.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Now we hear you.
Cool.
Whee!
Okay. It's a long story. I'm trying hard to make it short. So the armor I had is one that my mother put into my system when I was very young. And she said that literally, when I was little, being like a grown-up woman is being a whore and looking beautiful and attractive will lead to me getting raped. So that's a big armor. And that led to my sexuality being completely, well, fucked up. And it led to me gaining a lot of weight during puberty because apparently I wasn't allowed to be beautiful and attractive. So my unconscious decided to gain weight. And I had been struggling with that weight for all of my life, obsessively, like thoughts about what do I eat, when do I eat, how much do I eat. It took such an amount of energy, and I was doing sports to a max, obsessively too, and well, I never lost the weight because my unconscious was just much stronger. The limiting beliefs were much stronger. And during the Dearmouring training, I had 3 sessions that made a difference. It was the Yoni Dearmouring. It was a private Dearmouring session I took with Heini, the lead assistant. And it was another freestyle session that I had with one of the other participants. And it finally, I hadn't even hoped for that. It finally actually freed me of those old, I'm 53 now, limiting beliefs. And that was in April, the training. And since then, I'm able to lose weight.
Wow.
I don't do binge eating anymore. I don't have to obsess anymore. I can just limit what I eat, and it's easy.
Wow.
And
You
I
look
sort of
different.
always thank you. The camera angle is not very yeah. So I'm more than happy.
Wow.
And convinced and passionate about this whole Dearmouring as a lifestyle. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. I'm so happy
Thank
for
you.
you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Amazing.
And there was a
I'm
hand
gonna
up
mute
from, thank you. There was a hand up from Samantha. You ready to?
If anybody have a question, please write. I just want to say there's actually 2 other participants. One got rid of her fear of flights, like of flying after the training. Yeah, which is amazing. Fabienne, she's also here. And another one whose eyesight got better. Like he didn't need his glasses. I mean, that's stuff we haven't actually heard before. So that was really incredible. Yeah, I'm so happy to hear that.
So Samantha, if you still want to speak, you raise your hand. Now it's the time. If you don't, no, I see you unmuted, please.
Hi, I am new to this world and I have a question. Is now a good time? Okay.
It's the time, yes.
I actually got the time for the webinar wrong, and so I just joined when you suggested we close our fist and slowly open each finger. I am processing some beginning experiences of sexuality that unfortunately happened in childhood, way too early. But when I try to open my finger, I can't. And so I'm curious, how would you suggest to be in relationship with contraction if it's not ready? If that's what is.
A very metaphorical question.
Come to the training.
Sana, you on the jump of speaking, please.
Okay. So first I want to assure you that nobody can open the fist. It's a part of the exercise. It would take a really long time for it to open up. Like it would feel cramped and tight, and that's kind of the practice to understand when we micro clench and when we are tight. Yeah. So that's one part. But then I want to ask you. Wait, then I lost the question. So can you repeat your question? What would it take for you to open on a relational level? Did you say that?
I am saying that, but I also want to acknowledge where I am without force. And so
Yeah.
what I'm asking is, how would you suggest to be with contraction? Because
Yes.
that's what
Great.
it is.
That's what, yeah. So how do you feel? So this is the thing, like we don't want to force that contraction. It all depends on, when we go into Dearmouring, we have to look at the specific individual's background, the story, the history, the ego pattern, the structure. There are many different layers. To me, when I hear you, it sounds like it requires gentleness and care. And there might even be a level of fear underneath that in you, that maybe you're afraid of being, hurt again or overstepped your boundaries again. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rebuilding trust.
Yeah. So then it's really important that you go slow, and it's really important that you do that in settings where people are gentle and caring, and can see that and hold that. Yeah. It's very important, because otherwise we can re-traumatize and go into more contraction. So no need to force that, like being gentle. Yeah. And find settings where you can practice consent work is crucial. And gentle touch and safe practitioners that can help you to empower you. So you find your boundaries, you can start to define yourself, and you start to trust yourself more. Yeah. And then that knot will slowly open.
Yeah, and
How does that feel?
I feel a willingness to be with the pain of the contraction. And I feel a sense of gratitude and hope for the way that you shared what you did.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you for saying that. So there is we cannot go into a deeper coaching session here because of the webinar. So I just want to say that just trust that, and step by step, and it will unfold. Yeah. Just trust the process, and keep seeking and keep asking. Yeah.
And do come to the training. Really, this is why the training is designed. There are 11 days that you can receive so much Dearmouring that will actually help the muscles to relax. Really, this is really the key.
Yeah, and one really important piece that we all three emphasize is never use any force, any pushing, and any overpowering dynamics, specifically in this case that you have described. So that means that when you are receiving a Dearmouring session, and it goes as well with Tina Anderson asked that question, who is not experienced in sexual dearmoring, can you describe the sexual dearmoring session, what it is and what happens and so on. An important piece is that when it comes to sexual empowerment, specifically in the training, what you will learn is to take full ownership about your body, and that you learn that on one levels of your body, you need somebody to help you to opening up different body parts. Yeah, so you can only de-armor yourself to a certain degree. And when it comes to de-armoring and you have another person working with you or on you, that you having this level of trust, safety, and connection that allows you to let somebody come in proximity to your body and to your genitals, that you can literally surrender to your own experience while somebody does what you want them to do. And that's not always pleasant. It can be a trigger certain emotional responses in your body stored. And this is literally part of the de-armoring process, to let that go in a self-enough environment where you can literally trust and find deeper layers of yourself.
I mean, there is
everyone.
another aspect to it, which is by allowing someone else to actually do that for you, it's also creating a bridge of trust. If the trust was lost in the original instance or instances, actually, you have to be, in order to bridge it, you have to be with someone. And the safest, well, not the safest, but one of the very safe places is within a session. So that's kind of those spaces are designed to take people by the hand across the bridge back into safety, back into trust, back into being okay, being you with someone else, not just on your own in your cave, kind of hidden. You see what I mean? So there's different layers to the answer.
Thank you, Samantha. I hope that resonates. Please feel free to reach out if you have questions. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're open for questions. We're almost like an hour in, so I think we need to allow people to ask questions.
Absolutely.
See what other topics are to cover.
And questions could be anything. Question could be, what is the training like? How can I
People
become a
might even
professional?
don't know they have a training, whether we have a training.
Right. Is it possible to go to a de-armoring practitioner when I have no experiences? Does everybody has de-armoring or armor problems to let go of? So whatever your question is, everything is welcome. So there are no wrong or bad questions. And please feel free either to write it down or to unmute yourself if you're taking the shortcut.
And also related to the topic, of
Let me
course.
just one quick answer to Frida. Can you, 1 second? Can you describe those 11 days? Please reach out to one of us. Wait.
Yeah.
Reach actually to everybody here. Like we only have like X amount of minutes left. But if you want deeper knowledge, information about the training, please reach out. Matt is gonna send a link for the personal connection to 3 of us. We can
Here it is.
a free Zoom, like 20 minutes induction call with any of you anytime. So just reach out and let's have a decent conversation to actually answer all the questions. I think that's good to say.
I think it's useful to mention a little bit about the training if more people, instead of doing it one-on-one. I mean, everybody are welcome to reach out. That's not the point. I'm just saying if we want to briefly, like in 2 minutes, just like what are we actually doing? I can just mention that because many come to the training and they think that the armoring is pressing point 1 to 3. Yeah, this is what I'm going to learn. And often what we hear in the end of the circle is like, wow, I thought I would come here and learn a set of points, but this is really so much more. Yeah. So what we always do in the beginning is to make sure to set a safe space. We do a lot of consent work and we get to know each other. And then from there on, you get new pieces every day that will drill you to become a safe and solid practitioner and human being, because the armoring is life mastery, like we said. Like if we want to work with people, it's required to do the deep work. So the training is very much designed 50-50, like practice work and then personal work, yeah, because they're anyway merged, yeah. This whole training is really an offering from our life experiences. So it's a blend of practical technique and tools, and then a lot of processing and self-discovery. And this goes on. So it's a full schedule from 8 to 9 to 10, 8 in the morning to 10 in the evening, every day. It's breath work and theory and trauma release and God knows what. You learn so much, yeah? That's a micro version, yeah.
Dean, do you want to add anything to what the training is, or no, you're typing, and then I'll jump in. So the armoring training in itself, it's in an amazing place outside of Sweden. It's a 11-day training, including food and accommodation. And it is for individuals, for people who want to do the armoring in their relationship with their partner, and for professionals of all kinds. So for therapists, body worker, facilitator, massage therapist, or people who just want to become a professional de-armoring practitioner. So this is literally a training for professionals, but not limited to it. So everybody who wants to do their individual work is more than welcome as well. And before we let people into the training, we have a check-in call with everybody so that we make sure that this training is what you're looking for and that we're having the right people together. So we just want to make sure that we are with the right audience together. And Deanne, do you have anything you want to add here?
I was just reading it, kind of people asking, where was it? Somebody was asking how to be ready to let stranger enter the fingers inside you, and all those kind of questions. That's super amazing questions, but what you need to understand that at least in the armoring style that we do it, actually the very reason we started the school in the first place was to create safe and responsible practitioners of this style of working with people. Because what we found through experience, at least in Europe, prior to us starting the school, that there was quite a lot of people practicing the armoring, not creating safety and being super irresponsible. So there is a way to do it and there is a way not to do it. So it's a lot to do with trust and really creating a space of bubble, like a container that you really trust your practitioner. So if you're interested to have a session with someone, I suggest, I'm talking about outside the training, because inside the training is like super safe. But outside the training, get in touch with 2 or 3 or 4 different people that offer it. Have a one-to-one intake conversation and see how you vibe with them. See if you feel safe. See if the conversation flows in a way they think, yeah, I think I would trust that person. And then slowly. So it's a steady process of, allowing someone to actually enter your intimate bubble, not just the physical body, but the whole emotional body, mental body. It's a lot to do with safety and responsibility. So I hope this answers the question.
I want to say one thing to that, because even also if you go to practitioner, then it's a stranger still. They just know more what they're doing. But what is a key point to when we do this work and what we teach in the training is that before we enter, we always ask the question, like, when you want me to enter, then I want you to tell me I want you to enter. So there are no surprises. It's full ownership from the receiver. The receiver can always say no. There's no pressure. And it's only on day 6 actually that when we do we start with the women's internal sexual healing, for example. So we do a lot of
the men's first.
but on day 5, and then on day 6 it's the women. So it's a really it's a process to create safety in the groups. Everybody feels safe, and then everybody are welcome to say no. That sometimes can be the most empowering thing that we need to say. So we have had people late in last training. We had a woman from Egypt, for example, who worked Muslim, So she worked, and we had that before Dahlia, for example. Okay, So we had women before going through that, and this is also why it's so. First, we of course have to deal with the individual, always individual first, story, background, cultural, whatever comes with that particular package, and then see, are you ready? How ready are you? Where are you in your process of development? For sure, my heart is really pounding, because this is why I love this work, because it's so important to turn this around, because it's so fucking distorted in the world. It's just beyond distorted. It makes me pissed off, angry, passionate, like hungry to change. So the more I love the passion rants. So this is why I really, really encourage women like you who show up, who feel called. This is like you're putting a mark. You're courageous. You're leading the way. You transformation a whole culture. Can you imagine how big it is? It's like I get chills. This is so courageous. Was the same with this last woman from Egypt. She did such a massive work, and we were like, wow, imagine the impact it has on the field. Somebody has to break the pattern, Somebody has to do that and take that on. So I just encourage. It's one of the most important works that we can do, just because of that as well.
And what I want to good. And what I want to add to it, like, sister, you're so passionate and you're so careful. You're so like, come and be trained. Like, you need to be trained first. You need to experience it yourself in many aspects. This will take a few years. This is not going to happen in 11 days. Like, get really grounded training in how to deal with all these things. You might also want to go into psychology. You might want to go into communication. You might want to go into trauma therapy. You might want to go into all different kind of aspects of working with people before you're actually ready to approach the women in such circumstances. And hey sister, do you want to? Are you ready? Because there is a way. So higher recommendation, encouragement, please.
Totally. Please.
Explore, do not stop. Carry on doing it. And also the other thing that I need to say on this topic is that not everybody is ready for this work. This is super intimate. I mean, this is radical, because armoring, by the definition of the armoring, is you will change. You will become someone else. You will not stay the same. So if somebody is kind of stuck to be, for whatever reason, could be fear, could be karma, could be not enough inner impulse to actually change, many different reasons, they're not actually ready to embark on that journey, then there's nothing we can do with them. So there's also a big, large part of it is like only a fraction of people are actually ready for this work, because it requires you to sometimes leave your family, sometimes divorce, sometimes leave the country, sometimes live on a different continent. Definitely
Break cultural
job,
patterns. Yeah.
change personal friends non-stop, like seriously. Like this is for everybody, not just for people that you kind of talk about. So the armoring actually requires willingness to shift your life. And if people have that inner willingness, then this is work for them. But unfortunately, yet for most, it's not.
Can you see the importance of can you see the importance of breaking that? Can you see the importance, like choose to, like for me, like I did it multiple times. I'm like, I'm not bringing forward like abuse in my lineage. I'm like, I'm not putting a child onto this world until I heal this. This is my determination. This is what I'm dedicated to. I take on that load to shift things. I choose that. And I think this is like, if you could take that on, that is massive. Do that part that you can do. And if you want, I'm happy to have a call with you and explore this a little more.
Yeah,
like,
I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
It feels terrifying.
Yeah.
What you're talking about feels, but it's simultaneously amazing and utterly terrifying on a like non-cognitive, take all the books out off the shelf.
No, this is
not
cognitive.
No. I would like to add as well something. In the last training, we had such a variety of people from different cultures, and that has enriched the place in so many ways. So we had a woman from Iran, a woman from Egypt, and we had two men born in Iran with cultural backgrounds of their religion. So we had people from Canada, and it's just like people come literally from all over the world, and the variety of cultural clashes is massive in that field. We had somebody who was admitting in the field that he has conducted a rape situation where every woman who had just even the tiniest little experience of sexual misconduct coming with a story up, and that has the opportunity and the possibility to heal in the space. So that we don't
collective work.
We don't put it under the carpet. Stuff will pop up automatically, and I think the three of us are kind of equipped enough to deal with all these different clashes through the years of experience that we have.
We're not afraid.
We're creating that space that exactly this can show up and heal in this place. And then, of course, you cannot heal the entire culture of a society.
No.
And you need to make that as careful as possible. You need to create your environment. And this is what we offer with the Dearmouring Art School, is that we have a community of people who can connect with each other and practice with each other, where people can connect and communicate their difficulties. And you can come back and assist at the training afterwards. You have attended, there's so many ways of really implementing and create your own community where you live. So there's so many different ways of really implementing that in your life. And
wait. I just like as you were talking, I really want to
getting fired up.
A little bit. No. Just talk a little bit about the intensity and the structure of the training that we didn't actually touch upon.
Can I say one last thing just to wrap this up? Conchetta, thank you so much for sharing. And this is why I love this work and what we do very much. And this is what I'm so passionate about, to look at the bigger picture. This is collective transformation. This is collective healing work that we are shifting. Yeah. So this is really like, we really bring up all the shadows, cultural, everything, like backgrounds. It just comes up, and this is how we transform it. Yeah. This is the only way, not repress it, transform it. Yeah.
Thanks for your responses.
Yeah.
So to go back to the training, so Matt, you touched on it. Thank you for that, for remembering actually. And Conchetta, thank you for bringing the real life issue, because this training is real. Like, we don't really play games. There is nothing theoretical in our training. I mean, there is theory, but it's not a theoretical training. If you do come to our training, this is highly experiential, highly intimate, very personal, and very direct, and very, very real. It's raw. We really ask, because you see, the thing is, it's a beginning of the training for the armoring practitioners, and in order for you to hold space for the armoring, you really need to catalyze yourself. Like, you need to open yourself up left, right, and center, go to the core of your issues. Otherwise, you're gonna be a shallow space holder. You see, this is the thing. And because of that, when you actually sit in a circle with us, we are highly trained, decades of experience in bringing the reality out, bringing the authenticity every single time. Are you authentic? Are you real? Or are you masking? Are you playing? Are you like slimy little, yeah, like come out real? Like, so this is actually why this training is so amazing. It's because it gives people opportunity and safe space to really go boof with the demons out, so that we can actually heal them, transform them, transmute them one at a time, like for real. So thank you for opening this topic, because it's
Potent.
important to mention, you know.
Yeah, very potent. Brings it into the depth. Yes.
Yeah.
Sana, I have a request to you, Sana. I mean, so I've done 6 training in amazing places over the last 3-4 years, and but there were 70 training before in amazing places in the world, and Sana found a place, if you believe it or not, is absolutely fantastic. Are you willing to share a few words about that while I'm dropping the link of the Dearmouring training again, and it's again the link about the discovery call that you can do, as well with the prize, and that we have a webinar special today, that you can save 10% of the original price if you just place a deposit within the next 24 hours. I drop that right now. Please copy and paste that somewhere. Sana, are you willing to share about this amazing place where we hold?
Oh, yeah. So we're going to be in I love comfort, beautiful places. Yeah.
Luxury.
Luxury, kind of.
Kind of.
So I found this beautiful, it's actually in a mansion. We're going to be in a mansion and with a big workshop hall, amazing sound system. And all the rooms are en suite, which is rare in this type of training. So everybody had their own toilet and shower and comfortable bed. It's this high-class hästen-sängar. I don't know, horsens bed or the horse bed, or I don't know what to say in English. But everything is comfortable and great, basically. So it's an opportunity for basically everyone to have a single room if they want. There are no dorm situations. So if you're one of those who enjoy that as well, to feel that that is supportive, then this is really a place to experience. Yeah.
There is a question from Heidi Brandt. I will, but Diane is answering that. You know, an interesting thing is about armor as a defense mechanism, as a protective shield, is that we very much acknowledge and welcome the, armor. Yeah, so armor is important. We need armor, and without armor, we would have not made it. So everybody who has armor is a resourceful being, and it's a very intelligent mechanism of the nervous system, the emotional body, to create that armor. And we don't want to take people's armor away. We want to give people the opportunity to loosening up and softening up, that they have the choice to let go of their armor when they don't need it because they are aware of it. And bringing awareness to it is one of the first steps.
And transform it, yeah.
And then people choose how deep they are able to go by themselves. So we never force or push. And we never rip somebody else's armor off ever. People choose because they're feeling safe enough.
And also I want to add to that actually also depends a lot on the practitioner, because some people do not understand the depth of subtleties of what they're actually dealing with. And I was one of those. I'm actually continually in training, and they kind of go like, bleh. Well, that can rewound. That, you know, that won't work. So it really depends who you're working with, and on the depth, understanding, finesse, and sensitivity, and depth of love, to really understand where a person is coming from, to understand the trauma, to understand the defenses, to understand how to bring them to the light. And this is where I was saying earlier, in order to become a Dearmouring practitioner or a high skill, I need to hold a huge container of safety, so that when defense shows up, I can actually surround my client within my field of safety, and they can relax. So I hold them, I hold the inner child, I hold the trauma and the drama, I hold everything that are within my container, so they can really, as confused, fucked up, and helpless they feel, they can actually just go within the container. but they would not be able to do that if I wasn't able to hold it. So really a lot of it depends on who is your therapist and how it's done rather than what is done.
I can add to that. And a lot of the deep trauma would never even release with force. It needs, it's very clever. It will hide very, very deep. Yeah. Some armor can be released with force, and some people might need that sometimes because they are so shut down and blocked. But the really, really deep part would never, never, never show up with the force. Like this is why it's so crucial, because we can really hurt people if we are not careful there. So if you go out there now and look for a Dearmouring practitioner, ask if they practice soft touch Dearmouring, for example. Yeah. Or reach out to us, and we can suggest one of our students or assistants that we know are safe. Yeah. I think it's time to also wrap up.
We had a therapist in our last training, and he
had two Gestalt therapists.
Because we use a lot of similar techniques. They're not techniques, but
modalities.
Yeah, dynamics that you use in Gestalt, and so you might find it inspirational because it's this how, not what, but how it's done. That really, like, your eyes will just like, okay, I can do this and I can do that. For him was also like, I didn't know I can actually, like, oh no, we don't do that, but actually just try it and see. So you might actually find that you find it useful as well.
Okay, so I just want to take timekeeping, and we are a little bit over. Apologies, we said we just go for 8:15, so we have a few more minutes to go. Sanna and Deanne, a few last final word to wrap it up from your side?
Few last words.
Yeah.
No, I think we just need to invite people to come and join the training, really, like come and play with us. You're going to love it. So we prepared this offer for like everybody who is here in this webinar. You get a discount for 24 hours. Please talk to us if you need to talk to us as soon as you want. We always have time and we love kind of chatting to new people. So this is my last word. Just come and play with us. That's it. I love you and goodbye for now. Ta-da!
And for me, yeah, Conqueta is the right Conqueta. Yeah. You really, lit my fire here, because that's my passion and dedication is to really transform on the eagle perspective, on the collective level. Yeah, this is what I'm like. It really gets me going. So if you're really one of those who want to be a part of moving humanity forward, then come. This will move humanity. This is moving humanity forward. You will do that work. So if you feel dedicated to transform yourself and contribute to more global change, for more collective change, then this is for you. Yeah. And anyway, go do the work.
Yeah.
Move humanity forward. It's needed.
Yeah.
And my last words is, I'm into Dearmouring since 2010, and what I have seen back then was horrifying. What was around the field, and what I have seen, how Dearmouring has been developing and has been evolved, and all the different components that are added to that, specifically in this training, is absolutely mind-blowing, fantastic. So I have been coming back all the way after years, and I can't recommend it enough to people, because Dearmouring is kind of a lifelong process, and we're just getting more subtle. And as Deanne and Sanna already said, you're wholeheartedly invited to join. And if you have been in the training already, there's always a possibility to repeat or to come as an assistant, and what is a complete different level of Dearmouring. So you're all highly invited. Please reach out if you have any questions to me, Sanna, or Deanne. And Sanna will have the last word, and with that one, we finish the webinar.
Yeah, I also want to thank all of you that came here tonight and spent your time with us, spent your evening with us, and I hope it was valuable and brought some inspiration and value to your life. And like Matt said, if you have any questions, please reach out. Yeah, so
it's
thank
great
you.
To see those of you that did the training with us. Great to see you again. It's like a little reunion as well. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your evening.
Ciao, ciao.
And love yourself. The first
Yeah.
level of Dearmouring.